The devil with the sweet-faced darkness. Disorientation. He slowly came to, his head throbbing. All he could make out was her sweet face. "Judy," he mumbled. "Such an angel. I'd do anything for you." Then, memories flooded back, along with the chilling realization. Why was it so dark? He tried to move, but found himself tied to a chair. A wave of panic washed over him. Danger. He was in deep trouble. He remembered it all now. Breaking into a young man's house. A guy named Santiago. He'd just wanted to rough him up a bit, teach him a lesson. But Santiago was strong. He fought back. The last thing he recalled was a sharp blow to the face, then darkness. Now, he was here, trying to yell, but no sound came out. No one was around. He had to calm down, had to think. But the only thing that kept surfacing was Judith. Sweet Judith, so beautiful. If only she'd stopped nagging about Santiago. Ever since they'd gotten together, she hadn't stopped talking about how awful Santiago was. He'd tried to understand why she felt such intense hatred for him, but it made no sense. Santiago was a young man deeply immersed in his sports and university studies. He even had a girlfriend. That's all he knew about him. But Judith kept going, her words fueling his desire to do something bad to Santiago. He'd stalked Santiago, waited for an opening, and now he was in this dire situation. If Santiago were truly as bad as Judith claimed, he'd be dead by the end of the day, and he'd never see Judith again. Oh, sweet Judith. Then footsteps. He tensed, all his senses on high alert. He braced for pain, but instead, a voice said, "Are you ready to talk sense now?" The blindfold came off. Standing before him was Santiago, confident, strong, tall, and dark-skinned. If he didn't hate the guy so much, he'd admit Santiago was handsome. But hate dripped from him as he spat, "Let me go. I'll show you what I think of you." Santiago remained unfazed. He pulled up a chair, sat down, and calmly asked, "What did I ever do to you to deserve such hate?" "You hurt Judith," he roared. "You made her feel bad. I can't stand to see sadness on her face like that. You're a scumbag, and you don't deserve to live." Santiago looked genuinely confused. "Who is Judith?" he asked. He was stunned. What did he mean? Who is Judith? Of course, Santiago was a psychopath. He probably didn't even remember the people he hurt. "She's my girlfriend," he yelled. "She's the most beautiful girl in the world, and you hurt her." Santiago's confusion deepened. "Do you have a picture of her?" he asked. "Of course," he shouted. "Her beautiful face shines on my phone's screen." Santiago took his phone and stared at the screen for a long time. Then he said, "I remember her, but I don't remember hurting her." He trembled with rage, struggling against the ropes. He shook the chair, desperate to break free and hurt Santiago. "Did she tell you that I hurt her?" Santiago asked. "In ways you wouldn't understand," he replied. "She can't stop talking about how much you hurt her." Santiago pulled out his phone, dialed a number, and put it on speaker. A familiar voice filled the air. It was Judith. "Hey," Santiago said. "I'm sorry for not responding to your calls. Would you like to go out for a drink tonight at the university's cafe? 8 o'clock? Silence stretched, thick with tension. He was in shock. She'd say no for sure. Then, Judith's voice, bright and eager. "Of course. I'll be there sharp. Would you like me to wear something special?" "Anything you like," Santiago replied. "See you there," Judith said, her voice bubbling with excitement. He was silent, his intense anger now replaced by profound confusion. The confusion deepened when his phone rang. "That's Judith," Santiago said. "Do you want to answer her?" "No," he mumbled, "not like this." The phone stopped ringing. Then, an SMS from Judith appeared on his screen. "Hey, honey, I'm going out with friends tonight. I'll be late. Don't wait for me." He was in total shock. Santiago saw it on his face. Santiago came over, untied him, and brought him water. They went into the living room and sat in silence for a very long time. Finally, Santiago broke the quiet. "At least you know what kind of person she is now." Better now than later. He was on the verge of tears. But I loved her. I was ready to hurt you for her. I can't believe myself. She's beautiful like an angel. How could she do that to me? Santiago looked at him. Do you think the devil is ugly? He asked. It can wear the sweetest of faces and have the kindest of words. What if I had hurt you? He asked, his voice raw. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. The most precious lessons are the hardest, Santiago replied. I hope you learn it. Can I ask for a favor? He said. Can I go to the cafe instead of you? Santiago smiled. I would never go on a date with a woman like that. The date is all yours. He walked to the university cafe at 8, feeling like a complete fool. Judith was already there. When she saw him, she looked confused, then panicked, looking around. Honey, what a surprise. He looked at her face. It was beautiful. He still wanted to hug her, to kiss her. But now, he saw her differently. Her eyes could see far beyond the face. Behind that sweet face, he recognized a dark character he had refused to see before. All her nagging made sense now. She wanted him to hurt Santiago out of spite. She tried to break a man simply for telling her no. In front of everyone in the cafe, he told her, Judith, it's over. You are a horrible person. Then he left. He heard her voice behind him, cursing him, calling him a weak man. She was likely to spread rumors or incite another man against him. He didn't care. He was a new man that night, a man with newfound wisdom, a man who had learned that some of the most dangerous truths are hidden behind the sweetest smiles. He stepped out into the night, not with bitterness, but with a quiet sense of freedom and the clear understanding that he had narrowly escaped a much darker fate. What do you think? Please share it in the comments section below. Subscribe for more. The Counselor, SFTG.